What's up, everybody, and welcome to Havdalah Happy Hour here on the Beth Podcast Network and broadcasting live on the congregation's YouTube channel. I'm Ben.
I'm Jill.
I'm Emily.
Jeremy.
Hey, friends.
Happy
Hey.
March.
Happy March.
Crazy.
Jinx.
Buy me a Coke. Coke Zero, please.
Baseball soon, right?
I think didn't spring training already started?
I'm
Yeah.
very happy.
Baseball soon.
Yes, March 31st, I think, is Orioles' home opener.
Does anybody listen to the radio? I think it's 101.9 that does College of Knowledge. And the other day, they have like, it's like they, you call in and they have 3 questions usually about like what the highest grossing movie was over the weekend. But one question they had that I had completely no idea was the name of the stadium that the Orioles use for spring training. And
Ed Smith Stadium.
Yeah, Ed Smith.
In Sarasota,
I
Florida.
had no idea.
I've been there.
Who
It's
is
fun.
Ed Smith?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But I know he has a stadium named after him. And it's a
Sarasota.
lovely little stadium.
So who is Ed Smith? Do you know? Jeremy?
No, but he's Googling it.
I know Emily doesn't know because she's not
I
from
have
here.
no idea what you're talking about.
Is there baseball in Arizona?
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's spring training in Arizona.
And,
Oh, right.
and the Arizona
State Florida.
Diamondbacks.
Right? Isn't that the stadium with the
Yeah.
hot tub in it?
I don't know,
I think it does.
but it's in Phoenix.
So
It's
according
not
to
near
the
me.
Google machine, the Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota, Florida is named after
Ed Smith.
Hey, the
Great.
former president of the Sarasota Sports Committee,
Okay.
So not really associated with Baltimore at all.
but very involved with the construction of the stadium. And I believe that stadium was built in probably the late 80s, early 90s.
It's a great stadium.
I feel like it should be
I have
named
some
after
pictures
Earl
from
Weaver
there.
instead.
I'm impressed that you even know any
The
of that
only reason why
information.
I know is I feel like Ed Weaver was one of those
Earl.
people. Earl Weaver, sorry,
Oh.
and not Ed Smith.
You're not helping yourself.
No. We were talking about Ed Smith, and it's early, late. What is time?
Yeah.
What
but-
is time?
But there's a great story about Earl Weaver that made me like love everything about him. Apparently, he was yelling at an umpire once, and the umpire said he did this regularly, of course. And the umpire said to him, "Well, I can show you the rule book if you want." And then Earl Weaver said, "It won't do me any good because I can't read Braille."
Because you're blind.
And I was like, "This is spectacular."
He had such a temper.
Such a temper, but he was a colorful character. But everybody in Baltimore loved him.
Yeah.
Like they loved him.
Yeah.
And when he died, it was really very sad.
It was.
But it was like that type of hilarious, like,
There are some great Earl Weaver videos
Yes.
on YouTube.
With the
Yes.
kicking the
If you
dirt.
don't
the dirt, the when he was ejected all those times. Oh,
It was a different time.
A
back
different
then.
time.
Different time.
We
different
went.
time.
We went to Sarasota for spring training, and I think it was 2015 or 16, and it was something that we had always wanted to do, being Orioles fans, and it was really fun. And the stadium's great, and it's like a smaller Camden Yards, so you feel like you're
which is also a
there.
great stadium.
Yeah. Oh, Camden Yards is amazing. Yeah,
Have you been
A
yet
big
to a
fan.
baseball game here in town, Emily?
No.
Would you like to
No
go with
sports
me?
team.
Would you like to go to an Oriole game with me this season?
Maybe.
They're very fun.
It's
There's
hot.
a kosher, and they have a kosher stand.
It's hot.
All right. We'll have to talk.
Are you you're not in the shade though, right?
No.
You're in the hot.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go in the evening, it's fine. I normally go once a year, and
I'm ready for the hot here, though. It's been so cold.
Yeah,
No.
The
Well,
sun has
this
come
past
this
week
though.
was really nice.
Yeah, it definitely.
Little
improved.
rain on, I think, Thursday, but
Well, I think it was it Monday? I walked out of my house on Monday on the way here it was like 7:30. I was on my way for services, and I walked out and I was like, oh, like I didn't need my gloves. Why is it so hot? It was 32 degrees, mind you.
But it was sunny.
But it was like pleasant. And I was like, what is this? And I realized, it's just been so cold that 32 degrees feels like a heat wave.
right, you forget that when it's 40, it's warm when it has
Yeah.
been a high of 20 the week before.
I think last week, was it Sunday morning, I woke up and I looked at the weather app on my phone, and it gives the forecast it gives a 1-sentence description, and it said high of 42 degrees, a pleasant day to be outside. It said something like that.
But it was pleasant.
But it was the most AI generated thing on my phone I ever saw, that 42 degrees is not a pleasant day,
No.
but it was clearly
It was pleasant. It was a
averaging
pleasant day.
what we had experienced over
So
the
20
past
degrees
3 weeks.
higher was more pleasant, I guess.
But we
There's
did
still
go out.
Snow on the ground. There's still like
Well,
snow everywhere.
I'm glad you brought it
I
up,
love that.
Jeremy, because I am still waiting for your meteorologist friend to arrive because I have many, many more questions.
Yes, we will book him. I think next week we're spoken for.
Yes,
we may
but
have
I
a guest.
I need to know. More things have happened in the weather, and I keep thinking about it, and it's not good for me because I'm only, obsessing about what is like, how is this a job that's allowed to occur, and I need to know more things.
Right.
Right.
I'm a bit baffled by the fact that one day we were getting 15 inches of snow, and then 6 minutes later it was a trace.
But it was also like 100% chance. And I
100%
need
chance.
to know the decision-making process for this. And also I feel, and I don't think I'm alone in this, that if they're wrong, there should have to be an on-air apology.
Any meteorologist will tell you truly won't have a good sense of the weather
Which
until
brings me
about
back to my question,
48
why is
hours
this a job?
to 72 hours out from
I
it.
need to know. I need to know, and the sooner, Jeremy, the better, because I'm having an existential crisis about it.
We will get someone booked on the show within the month.
Thank you.
Great. Okay.
Sounds like fun.
I wonder what the weather will be like in a month. Like, I remember when it was early in my Bethel career. I've been here for 10 years, so somewhere around that time, it was a b'nai mitzvah. It was siblings. I think they were twins.
Was it Logan and Ben Suffel?
It was not but it was around Purim time. I remember because I think it was either like their b'nai mitzvah was the week of Purim, and I think they came on Purim morning to regular services for like their tefillin thing, and it snowed, and it was March, like
Right.
it snowed a lot. And I remember being like, what is happening?
I remember in late March, and I want to say it was maybe like 2013 or so, because it was a couple years before.
So in the before time.
Right. And my friend's daughter's bat mitzvah was March 23rd, maybe, and they were expecting a huge snowstorm, and it did snow, but because of where the sun was and it didn't stick to the roads. But it probably snowed 5 inches on the grass, and it's weird.
We had one bar mitzvah. In the time I've been here, we've only canceled Shabbat morning services like twice. And one of those times, maybe 3 times, one of those times was the bar mitzvah of this particular student who I remember very clearly.
And I bet I know who. I'm not going to say it, but
so
I think
we
I
had
know
to
who
move
was.
it to Sunday morning is basically what we did. And it was still really bad Sunday morning,
Right.
but there was no way we could have services on that Shabbat. It was that bad. And I remember, so we had it on Sunday, but it was like much smaller. The entire congregation wasn't there. It was just pretty much just family. And this kid gives this hilarious speech about how every like significant moment in his life had been ruined by the snow. And so he's talking about how he was born in a snowstorm. Everything else was in a snowstorm. Bar mitzvah now in a snowstorm. So he's like, I vow that my wedding will be in August on an island somewhere far away in the sunshine. I was like, that's actually very funny.
Was it this
Like-
person?
Yes,
The
yes.
moral of the story
Yes.
that all bar mitzvahs should be in the summer and fall.
Yes.
No.
Right. My boys was in May. Mine was in beginning of November.
Mine was in December.
David's was in
It snowed on
November.
my
I was
mitzvah.
October.
I was February, but there was
in
no issue
Arizona. Right. Right.
You know, it snowed in Israel this past week as well, in Jerusalem. It
I
snowed.
think I heard that.
Yeah.
I remember, speaking of March, a blizzard of 93
Mm.
was when we got a big snowstorm here in Baltimore.
Yep.
Well,
It snowed more this winter than it has in the past several
Many.
years. Many years, yeah.
Well, stay tuned. We still have
we do.
31 days left of the month. 30 days. Today's
Comes in
almost
like
over.
a lion, out like a lamb. Isn't that what they say about March?
I don't know, but lamb is delicious.
I don't like lamb.
No?
David loves lamb.
Why don't you like lamb?
I don't know. It's like it's like too chewy to me.
What does
I
that
don't
even
know.
what does that even mean? Yeah,
I
right.
just
I
don't,
was like, I don't
like
understand
the
this.
flavor of it. I like steak. I don't like veal, and I don't like lamb, and not because they're
Oh.
baby animals.
I like
just
veal.
don't like. The
Well, you know my
taste.
theory: the cuter the animal, the tastier it is.
Where do you get lamb?
Or the
At
warmer,
the butcher.
or the warmer it is, like
Yeah.
your gloves.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Well, rabbit is not kosher. Rabbit is inside my gloves, but I bet it is pretty tasty.
Well, you're not
I've never
eating your
had it.
gloves, so you're
No.
fine.
I'm
Right.
not.
I've never had it, and I don't plan to.
Well,
What's that,
it's
rabbit?
prohibited by the Lord, so I will
That's
not.
why, right.
So, but it is good to put in your gloves because it's super soft and super warm.
I put my hands in, like
Yeah.
when you go over your gloves. I'm like, let me
Yeah.
touch
There
the
it is,
inside of your
yeah.
gloves.
I can't believe you don't like lamb. Lamb meatballs or like lamb arraiz, like the ground up lamb. In a
David likes
pita.
those lamb, like call them lamb popsicles,
Uh-huh.
like when you just
Lollipops, the
lamb
lollipops,
lollipops.
yeah.
I mean, not
Mhm.
popsicles.
With the
Thank
minced
you.
jelly.
Yes, yeah, no. I
You
just
like
don't
lamb,
it.
yeah?
I do. I
Yeah.
like lamb a lot.
I mean, if someone served it to me and that was the only thing, I would not be like, oh, I'm not eating it. But veal, I do not like. I would
No,
not
I like
eat
it.
veal.
Same. I don't like veal.
Oh,
Also.
I do.
I would eat lamb if it were what was in front of me.
Lamb chops.
Yeah,
If I had
absolutely. That's every time I see the puppet, I always think of how delicious
Lamb
lamb chop would be with a sauce, and
Sherry
Sherry
Lewis.
Lewis. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a hilarious video online. So Sherry Lewis used to do like adult stuff too.
No.
And so there's a hilarious video where Lamb Chop has gotten drunk, and she was so talented. Like, first of all, ventriloquism is difficult already anyway, but to like create. If you find this video, you can watch Lamb Chop sing Romania, that classic Yiddish song, Romania. But it's like this drunk and angry Lamb Chop. It's very funny because you're so used to like the nice Lamb Chop, and this is like the adult Lamb Chop was very funny. She was really talented.
Yeah.
But also, like, ventriloquism creeps me out with the people dolls, Like,
Yeah, I don't love that either.
it creeps
Is
me
she
out.
still alive?
No, she died a long time ago, Sherry Lewis. But dolls in general, I find to be creepy. So ventriloquism dolls, and I think they're the Twilight Zone episode was about a regular doll, but it's creepy, and I don't like it. So let's not do it.
How about Chucky? Remember that?
Yes.
Oh, no, thank
Child's
you.
Play, that's a great movie.
I meant the doll that.
Yeah, but no. So they've made so many versions of it now that it's gotten a little much. But the original Child's Play movie is a spectacular film, and that doll is very creepy. But it was very well done in terms of horror movies.
Most dolls are. We have the ones at home where when you sit up, the doll's eyes open.
And when you lay
And
down,
when you
they-
lay down, they close. And
When I was little, I had a doll called Baby Alive. Did you?
Oh, I don't think I had one, but I
I already don't like it, and I don't even know anything about it.
She came with like little powdered baby food that you would mix with water, and her lips would move, and you would feed it
Nope.
to her, and then she would she'd
Go
like
through
poo
the
it out,
body.
and then you have to change her diaper.
Yep.
I think I'm pretty sure I know where.
what was it called?
Baby Alive.
My fear of dolls comes from
Teaching children anxiety at a young age.
I mean, it taught me mothering skills.
in my grandma's house in a closet was a Chatty Cathy doll, and Chatty Cathy was like a large doll.
They still make Baby Alive, by the
And
way.
I remember like I had opened the closet and there she was, and I was like terrified by it, and I think that's why I'm like afraid of all dolls now, and I think they're all creepy.
Well, and then
But
there
the
were
movies are
Barbie
good.
dolls where you could crank the hair out,
Uh-huh.
crank it back in, so the hair could grow and get shorter.
No,
I feel like that would scare you too.
it's dolls. I'm not into it. It's
Right.
dolls.
The
are creepy.
first Baby Alive doll was introduced by Kenner in 1973. It could be fed food packets mixed with water and came with a bottle, diapers, and feeding spoon.
That's why you're such a good mom, because of Baby Alive.
Exactly. Logan and Ben, I hope you appreciate that.
Well, and it was also a good scheme. Like, you don't just buy the doll, then you have to like continuously buy the food and the diapers.
Capitalism.
Right,
absolutely.
exactly. But
See, all these
I
life
love
lessons.
that baby.
Yeah,
And
right.
you
By-
make sure that you continuously get more money from one doll.
I love that baby. I loved her.
The doll in the Twilight Zone episode is called Talkie Tina.
Uh-huh. Oh, and remember
she
last
kills you.
week? That was a fad. Like, remember we were talking about fads last
yeah.
week? I thought of another fad, and it like hit me at 4 a.m. You two would not have known. Oh, both have sisters. Do you remember those barrettes that you would like? They would like weave like fabric through the barrettes, and then they'd have like streamers hanging off of them with beads on the end.
Yeah, I never used one, but I remember I was worried that
That
they would,
was-
like, pull your hair.
Yeah, my mom would make them for me.
Do you know what I remember? So it's not a fad, but like I also have it. So I'm very susceptible to solid marketing with like a good jingle or like a good commercial. And you remember those, like, this was very popular in the early 90s. It was a thing that girls could like put in their hair that would like make the hair go up. Do you remember this?
The mane.
I don't think it was called that, but it was
Oh.
like
It was a
Like a
a
bump?
long plastic stick
No.
And it opened up, and you pulled your hair up in, and you clipped it together up here, and your hair went.
Oh, maybe I don't know. I think it was like something, and then you could put your
this
hair over it.
1971
It was
born
like the bump
girl.
that, like,
Yeah,
went
that's what
here
it. The
and your
bump.
hair went
That's
over
right.
it.
Bump?
That's
oh no,
right.
I had a
Like your
mane.
That's
to your
right.
hair.
And then there was another one that did like an instant bun, and I don't know why I like remember these particular commercials, but they must have been effective because I'm very susceptible to this type of marketing. But I remember like there was a lot of like hair stuff in the 90s.
I had a mane.
Yeah. And it gave your hair.
Okay, this is the barrette that I was talking about.
I don't think I remember
It
seeing my
looked
sisters with
something
any
like
of their.
that.
Oh, you know what? That looks familiar, but I don't think my sisters ever wore
Don't
any of them.
remember
But
that.
they do look familiar.
Well, what about like the butterfly clip barrettes?
Well, that I
girls
remember
would
seeing all
put,
the
like,
time.
all the way
Uh-huh.
across the front of their forehead.
Yeah.
I definitely had those.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In different colors. And
Yeah, that was me in the 80s with brown hair though.
You look completely
but
different
brown.
now.
I mean, not me, but like that barrette. It was like my jam, and I had different fabric that matched different like the ribbon was for different outfits, and if I wore a red shirt, I had red and white ribbon.
Oh,
and
coordinated.
I was very
matchy.
I was super.
I love
duper
that.
Cool.
But is anybody
I
else
was not at all in any way cool.
greatly unsettled by butterflies?
Really?
Yeah, they bother me.
They don't bother me.
I don't like it. I'm not like afraid of them, but like I don't like them.
I don't love moths. When I was in elementary school, they sent us home with silkworms, and I had this silkworm in a box. And I didn't, for some reason, have any problem with the silkworm by itself. And then it was in a cocoon, and I was like, oh, that's fine. And then all of a sudden, this moth comes out, and I was so freaked out, I threw the whole box.
I would have been done. You had me.
Scary.
And then these were the mains.
Yeah, it was kind of like that.
Oh, yep, I had one of those.
I don't remember
Like,
those.
banana clips.
Yeah, and then they clipped, clicked in at the top.
Yep.
Mm.
You would throw your head over and
Yes.
pull it up, and then you would poof. You were a beauty.
Instant lift.
I just remember them being
Beautiful.
called banana clips. But
Maybe over where you come from. Maybe that's like a
Maybe in the
regional
Arizona.
thing.
West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, there's a lot of those regional things where,
Yeah.
people call things weird. Like
Right.
that fish, Revelation.
Sable.
We call it in Baltimore, but everybody else calls it sable.
Right.
Well, calling it Revelation makes it sound amazing. So
It's a
delicious.
revelation.
It's very expensive, but it is very good.
Yeah, I mean, what
Jeremy
is that?
doesn't need
A
it, you don't
cricket?
need
A
it?
moth?
No, I was getting ready for
Does moth make a sound?
Shonda of the week, and
I hope
hit
not.
the wrong
Mothra. That's a
The
comic
wings
book character.
flapping.
Yeah, or no,
Oh, my
Mothra is from the Godzilla series, I think. Right? Mothra is like a giant.
yeah, I don't know.
My kids saw
You're the expert now in moths.
a movie last week, and they said that there was like a Israeli character in the
Yeah.
Captain America movie.
Yeah,
They
it's
were very
what's
excited.
her face? Shira. No, not Shira Haas. Maybe it was Shira Haas.
I don't know.
I remember reading
They were-
about it.
They
I'm
were
like
very excited.
done with Marvel movies. Like I'm over it. But I heard it was good stuff.
I think that they and David continue to go because it's like their tradition since they were little. So they see everyone that comes out. But they were very excited that there was.
I'm waiting
Max
for,
would
like, a nice-
definitely have all the information on this. He's gonna be so disappointed that I have
Well,
no idea.
and
'cause I don't
and
watch
my
them.
family is too because they told me everything about the character, and I'm like, whoosh, whoosh, in one ear, out the other.
And
Yeah.
Max and I had a great conversation about GI Joes the other day. So
Cobra!
You may or may not see me in your living room at some point.
I still think that Cobra is very misunderstood.
Certainly.
And I'd like to report that my cold is better.
Yay.
And I did have a cold. I will admit it now.
We've got received a
Oh
lot
man,
of feedback.
everybody.
I was so worried, but
Not
you
doing well.
You never managed to get it, did you?
People good
My
so
mom,
far.
my mom and dad, the most worried.
Good so far.
So I'm
Didn't
fine,
get
mom
sick.
and dad.
On that note,
Been a
guys,
crazy winter. All right,
Wah, wah, wah.
it's time for Shonda of the week. All right, Jill, you're up.
So my Shonda of the week is that I can't drive at night anymore without discomfort.
Wait, what do you mean by discomfort?
The fear of crashing my car because my
Well-
eyesight at night is not great.
I don't think it's your eyesight. I think, and I can't prove this, but I think that the headlights on cars these days are so much brighter than they
maybe
used to be.
when I'm on a road by myself, I will say it is better than when I'm driving like on Reisterstown Road. So maybe you're right.
I
Do you
think
know an eye doctor that would be able
My
to help
eye
with
doctor
this?
is
I have
spectacular.
a great eye doctor I can
He's
recommend.
amazing. And I was actually at the dinner with him last night and I was talking to him and his fiance. Both of us brought that up. And he's like, you all born in 1971. And because he's younger than us. So he's like, sucks to be you. And he was just laughing.
What he tells me every time I go in now, he says, it's not a question of if.
It's a question of when.
There you go.
Well, because I have these special glasses that I wear when I'm driving at night that make it less glary because
They're like they're like goggles, right? Like
No.
snorkel goggles.
Do you remember those drunk goggles they used to
Yes.
bring to make you simulate?
Yes.
because
I remember those.
it wasn't for me age, but like 5, maybe a little bit more years ago, I was teaching and the whiteboard that was attached to the wall fell onto my head and I got a concussion.
It's a problem.
And ever since then, I had like glare when I'm driving at night.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I wear those glasses and they're kind of like yellowish brown. I got them on Amazon.
I would like a pair as well.
Yes.
And
Can
they
you?
are very helpful.
I want to ask Brian about them.
Yeah.
That's I will ask. But it's
Not
just
prescription.
it's just crazy how you reach a certain age. And also I wear contact lenses, so I think at the end of the day maybe they're a little drier. So I always forget to put drops in my eyes to keep them not dry. I won't say the M word because I don't like that word. And so I don't know. I'll do an experiment between now and next Havdalah, and I will try to remember to put drops in my eyes like before I leave to drive at night.
Please report back.
Say the word.
I'll do it tonight when I leave tonight here. I'll do it. And I'll-
Say it.
Say the word, Joe.
Say the word.
On that note, Emily.
So mine's a follow up from last time when I was talking about the carpet runner for my stairs.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
And Amazon continuously delaying the delivery.
which I don't think it exists anymore.
I agree with you. And they sent a notice the other day that it was going to be delayed another few weeks and asked if I wanted to cancel. So I did.
Yes.
And now I have to figure out a different plan for my stairs. And I'm annoyed because I wanted it done weeks ago and it's not done.
It's annoying.
That is a Shonda.
Yeah.
That's all.
There's a store near me in Aladrerden,
Don't
as
go
you
over
would
there.
say.
It's in Siberia. It's very
That it's
far away.
called Floor and Decor. Maybe they would have a suggestion. It's a
do like
it's
a
a
rhyming
store the
store.
size bigger than Costco.
I've been in those
That's
stores,
all
but
floor. Maybe
I
they
think
would
they're
have
mostly like tile and stuff, but maybe they have carpet.
or
don't
maybe
know.
they have like a solution.
Should
Maybe
I
there's, like,
edit
an
their
aisle.
name out or leave the name in? We'll leave it
Not
in.
a sponsor.
We'll
Not a
send them.
sponsor.
They can send us a small donation.
All right, Jeremy, I know you had a Shonda and then you were waiting for this time to talk about it.
Did I have a Shonda?
No, that was me.
Wait, was
no,
I?
right before we recorded, you said you have a Shonda, but you're not going to talk about it now.
That was
You're
me.
gonna wait.
That wasn't me.
That was me.
Okay, Ben.
It was
you
me.
had a Shonda that you were going to wait to talk
Yeah,
about.
it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, as you all know, my day off is on Tuesday.
Yes,
Yep.
it's a very, very sad day for me here at Bethel.
I hear it's very quiet around Bethel on Tuesdays.
It sure is.
But so context, I meet with all B'nai Mitzvah students right around the 6-month mark of their journey. To, just assess where they are, see how they're doing, like a little check-in and if there's, a need for something to be improved or whatever, we can, figure that out. It's a good place to sort of assess all the kids. Great. Fine. So we schedule these meetings by email, usually. Andy sends out a nice email to the parents, then they get in touch with me, and we schedule the 6-month review, as I call it. And so this one particular student, we've been having a hard time finding a time that worked. And I think I had to cancel one, and then they had to cancel one. And then I had scheduled the meeting for what I believed to be Thursday afternoon, but turned out actually to be Tuesday afternoon because I don't know if you all do this, but you know how like when you type an email, Google gives you like a suggestion? I often push the arrow and think that it's fine. So instead of typing Thursday, it typed Tuesday.
Uh-oh.
So I didn't think anything of it because I didn't really realize it But it put it on my calendar, and so I got this notification on Tuesday for this meeting at 4:30, and I was like,
Whoops.
"What?"
Oh shoot.
So then I and I think and the worst part is I think I had like confirmed this with the with the parent.
Oh, no.
So I was like, I guess I'm going to this meeting. So the Shonda is my friend's the Google auto response.
And you had to work on your day off.
I mean, that wasn't like a big deal.
Was it Zoom or were you here?
No, I came here. It's not a big. Wasn't a big
I didn't
deal.
even see you. How
I was
sad.
the briefest of moments. So yeah, that was like a Shonda from me, and I didn't love it. But you know what? It was fine because it was my fault, so I wasn't going to punish. We had already had all these scheduling issues, so I was like, you know what? It's not a big deal, but like I need to be more careful.
That
about
is
the auto
definitely a
responses of
Shonda.
Google.
But along the similar lines, you know how when we type an email now, it gives us the option we can polish.
No, I have not seen
I
it say
don't do that.
polish. What is that?
It spruces up your email so you sound super smart.
No, I don't like that, but I do like how it'll summarize emails for you now.
Yeah, I do like
I
that
don't
too. So
trust that,
I
'cause
clicked.
Sometimes they miss
I know,
information.
but I clicked the polish the other day. I'm like, oh, that's a lovely version of what I just said. So then I took mine and the polish and like tweaked it to sound a little bit better. So
Yeah.
check that
No.
out.
I'm not
Or,
doing that.
come
Sure.
like in my office, I'll do it
I
and
no
I'll show
longer
you what it
trust it.
does.
Well, and you got to make sure that once AI does its thing, you go back and just because
I
there
never,
might be
like,
some words
send
you'd
it-
never use.
Right. And I never do best regards. I'm always
Right.
like, love Jill or whatever.
I'm really like, I have mixed feelings about AI because I think there are some things that it does really good, but I'm starting to be of the opinion that the only thing it really should be good for and should be used for is to create like photos of the Ayatollah riding a sandworm.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Mine's easy this week. Road rage.
Oh, I heard.
What
Yes. Tell
happened?
everyone what happened.
I wasn't involved. One of our colleagues was involved with not that person's fault either, but I was in a car behind them and witnessed a bunch of us witnessed
Was it me?
but
Because I have
No.
road rage.
No.
it was not that, but I say that to say this is you never know who's in another car
Yeah.
when
Sure.
you're driving, whether you blow your horn, whether you brake check them, whether you pull up next to them.
Yep.
You never know the person who's in the other car. So as angry, embarrassed, annoyed as you might be,
Not worth it.
not worth it.
Not worth it.
And we'll leave it at that. Not worth it. For the record, not our colleague's fault. That
No.
person did nothing wrong. We
I
watched as
think-
this other car was extremely aggressive and then started pulling up to the person and just acting like they shouldn't have.
We should all have
Face.
those like novelty horns, like
Mhm.
different songs that we like La Cucaracha or like, yeah, that.
Right. Or the one that we like that we can't say that your son sang.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
cannot be.
That
cannot,
is
we cannot
my
play that. But that would be a great
favorite.
horn. It would be. It would be
It would
great.
be a great horn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
and I think that's going to do it for us here on Havdalah Happy Hour. Thanks so much for listening here on the Bethel Podcast Network. And you can find all of our shows wherever you go to listen to your favorite podcasts or on Bethel Congregation's YouTube channel. Remember to follow us, please, on all our social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search Bethel Balto. And please text our show. We love to hear feedback and your questions to answer. Have a wonderful week, friends. Shavua Tov, and we'll see you soon.
Shavua Tov.
Plateau.